So I was working on a technique-focused lesson for this week because we've been in that vein. We've been talking a lot about finger-picking technique. We've been talking about fretboard stuff over the last several lessons, and that is all very good, essential stuff that you've got to know. But something else to me that's equally as important is you got to take a break from your regimen, your real studied approach to the guitar, and just kind of have fun. So actually, as I was working on putting together yet another technique lesson, this happened. So there's definitely some slop in there, but I left it in there because that piece came to me as I was just having fun. I put the guitar in drop D, which is something I don't normally do. Also, I'm playing with a pick. I don't normally play with a pick. So I've just gotten myself into this real strict practice regime, and I needed a little bit of a break. You know, sometimes that happens because practicing can be frustrating. It can be frustrating. It can be fulfilling and rewarding for sure. Like you're searching for and you're constantly moving and progressing toward a goal. That is great. But at times it can be frustrating because you're constantly struggling. And think about it. If you're not constantly struggling, you're probably not growing. So we kind of need that struggle, but you got to counterbalance it every now and then by just doing something on the guitar that makes you smile and reminds you why you want to work so hard to play in the first place. And for me, today it was about getting a little bit of a different setup going and just kind of jamming. And within just a few minutes, this little thing came up. You know, something like that. I could play around with the notes a little bit. And I played it for 5, 10, 15 minutes and started adding some chords and just developed the idea, not judging myself, not stopping to tab it out, not thinking, is this the right note or the wrong note? I just tried some stuff and I didn't really, critique myself in the moment. I just let myself have it just to jam, just to have fun. And it felt good. And I want to encourage you to do that as well. Now, there's something else that I want to bring up since we're talking about this is that at times you can go through bouts of just not wanting to play a guitar at all. You're just too practiced out, or maybe you're too frustrated. You get a little discouraged and it kind of kicks you in the teeth a little bit. The thing, because I've been there, so the thing that I do to kind of, counteract that is I find something that connects me to the music. And it usually means putting down the guitar, and I'll go put this on the turntable, and it reminds me kind of what I'm after, and some other albums as well. But for sure, this one is very important to me, and it really connects me with what drew me in to acoustic blues and this whole thing that I'm doing and trying to play. So there's a little suggestion for you. I know there's not a lot of guitar. There's no technique in this, and that's kind of the point. My message to you here is just have some fun. I might tab out some little bits and pieces of that thing, not necessarily a note for note, but maybe just something to, to take away from the video. But just think about it. If you're in a rut, if you're in a practice rut, or if you're feeling a little bit disconnected with the guitar, outthink it and go reconnect with what drew you to this thing in the first place. And sometimes, honestly, for me, it's not even blues related. When I first started playing guitar, I was really into heavy metal and like, classic rock 70s stuff. And sometimes I'll crank the stereo with that and it gets the blood pumping in the same way I was when I first heard that stuff. And it really reconnects me. And over a couple days, if I'm in a funk, it yanks me out of it and I come back stronger every time I've done that. So if you're there, then I want to pass that on to you. And again, if you're practicing and everything's good, take a day a week or at least a few minutes to, run through some repertoire that just makes you smile, or create some space so that you can just come up with a cool little groove and expand on it. Don't overthink it. Don't critique it. Don't worry so much about wrong notes. Don't worry about if it sounds good, if it sounds bad. Just get it out and have some fun. All right, I know there's a little bit of a rant and less of a lesson, but I do think that this is very important. It's kind of timely for me, so I wanted to really share, and hopefully it helps somebody out there. All right, that's it for today, and I hope to see you back here for another Acoustic Blues. We'll get back into some technique stuff for sure, but come on back. We'll have another Acoustic Blues lesson here next Tuesday. I can't wait to see you then. Until then, play on. Oh yeah, and have fun.